So, hi, everybody. I don't know many of you, and I know some of you. So, welcome. I am the herd's human at 16 Hands of Love. That's what they tell me. So, I thank you all so much for attending the event tonight. Each one of you is so unique in your own way to be with us and hold space. And I hope that you get chosen, although I don't know, I know we all can't get chosen tonight, but I hope you enjoy it. And so again, I'm Angela, and I'm the herd's human at 16 Hands of Love. And we're a 501c3 nonprofit organization. We're an animal sanctuary. We have horses, dogs, goats, cats, chickens, ducks, more things coming. I feel them as we grow. So speaking of growing, we're pursuing a land fundraiser. We're on a low-lying land now that we have to evacuate for hurricanes. Yes, I load all those animals up when we need to, and we're pursuing higher up land. So, and it'll be our own, we won't be renting. So we'll have a lot more freedom to grow and expand as we need to. And our tagline is we offer outdoor organic learning and healing and reconnecting through the use of nature and our rescued animals. And we're involved in the community pretty heavily. We rely on a lot of volunteers to help us. And we just started Organic Learning Connections, which is an alternative learning program for children and their families. I was a former first grade teacher, and I really saw that the world needed to be outside with the children learning with animals. So all the animals that come to us agree to be a part of that healing. I'm also an equinistic healing practitioner, so I use the herd in healing through our hearts with things like heart math. So you're in for a treat tonight. I was gifted with a practice reading of a couple of the animals with the ladies who are on the call, and they chose Freedom. One of our rescued horses came through, and I just wanted to share that they picked up on some pretty amazing things with her background. She was a brood mare, so she was used for having babies only as a horse. And she was in a kill pen when we rescued her. And the ACC ladies who are reading tonight had no clue about that, but they picked up very heavily on exactly how Freedom acts, I mean. And they also picked up on the fact that she's lost a lot of babies, and she asked to have a healing ceremony for them. So it was a really touching experience with them. And I hope that you're able to do that tonight, or have that for yourself if you choose to do a private session with them. And speaking of that, at the end, we will draw our raffle winners, so stay tuned for that. And if you book with any of the ACC ladies up until April 30th for your own private session with them, they donate 15% back to us, and we get 100% of what y'all bought your tickets and everything for. This is a true legit group of women wanting to do good for the world and for these babies. So I wanted to say thank you so much for coming and joining and spending your time with us. And I see your fur babies. They're saying thank you. And our hearts go out to you. Come visit us on Facebook or our website, and I'm going to hand it off to Donna. So it's nice to see you all.
Yes, thank you all for being here. Welcome. I'm Donna Norris, and I'm here with four, actually, of my colleagues. One is our tech person, and Karen Dindy Smith. And also here with me is Keith Peart, Jody Crotty, and Vicki Sondheim. And I'll give them just a brief moment here in a second to tell you a little bit about themselves. But first, I just wanted to let you all know that we are all professional animal communicators, and we connect with both living and deceased animals. We have gone to school for this certification. We've been tested, and we've spent hundreds of hours preparing in order to be able to do this work. So we employ techniques that we've mastered in our training, and we tune in intuitively with your animal. And we try to present, acting as a conduit for that animal, what they want to say from their perspective. So we each have our own style of reading, as you'll soon see. But we all get the information and convey it, and hope that it will resonate with you. And we look forward to reading for as many pets as we can, or as many animals as we can. So with that being said, I'm going to pass it over now to Julie and let her tell you a little bit about herself.
Hi, I'm Julie Heert. I am a soul level animal communicator. I am so proud to be part of this group, the Animal Communication Collective, and I'm really excited to talk with as many of you as we possibly can. I do see some friendly faces, so hello to everybody. And yeah, and now I'll let Jody talk a little bit about herself.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jody Crotty, and as Julie stated, I'm a member of the Animal Communication Collective and an animal communicator. I am just so honored to be working with Angela and the 16 Hands of Love to help these animals and be able to provide so much love that they give to us all the time. So thank you, Angela, and thank you, Donna, for having me here. Thank you. I'm also excited to connecting with all of you guys. So thank you. Vicky.
I'm Vicki Sondheim, and I, like all my colleagues, am also a soul level animal communicator, and I'm substituting for someone who couldn't be here, and I'm just tickled and thrilled and honored to have been asked to step in and fill in. So I'm happy to be here with y'all tonight. Thank you.
We're thrilled to have you, and we're thrilled to have all of you. So tonight, what we're going to do is work in pairs. Julie and I will pair up and we'll read in tandem, and then Jody and Vicki will be a pair and they will also read in tandem, and we'll go through, and intuitively pick. So if you would like to be read and you'd like to have a reading, please leave your camera on. So we have to see you to kind of be drawn. And then if you are chosen, we will of course ask you if you're up for a reading, if you want to have a live reading with us, and if not, no big deal. We'll just move on, but we just want you to know that you have that choice. So we'll first ask the important part, really, and that's all we really want to know is the name of your animal, whether the animal is male or female, whether the animal is living or deceased, and what type of animal it is, whether it be a dog or a horse or a cat or a bird or whatever. So that's about all we want to know, because we want to make sure that what we're bringing through isn't influenced in any way, and you are sure that we have got your animal. Okay, so after we connect with the animal, then we'll ask you a question, give you the opportunity to ask us a question, or the animal a question, and then we'll convey that answer as best we can. So I think that's about it. Again, if you're interested in exploring animal communication with any of us individually, we'd be happy to set that up. I believe Karen is going to be putting that information in the chat, and you can also find it on the 16 Hands of Love website. So I think if everyone is ready, let's get started. What we thought we'd do tonight, since we have a bit of a following, a fan club, if you will, for one of Angela's herd, and goes by the name of Bart, if you don't already know. And so what we'll do next is give a reading for Bart, who specifically wanted to present a message. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Jody and Vicki and Angela, and we'll read Bart.
Thank you, Donna. So as Donna was stating, we're going to just take a few moments, Vicki and I, and we're going to connect in with Bart and discover what Bart would like to share. How does that sound, Vicki?
That sounds good.
Okay. All right. Just give us a moment and we're going to connect in with Bart.
And I'm going to take a moment to manage my energy before we do that.
And right away, when I connect in with Bart, he makes me laugh because he comes in trotting very high with a top hat on, and he's saying he's the man of the hour, and he's very honored to be here. And he has this little the hat reminds me of something of Cabaret, the way that he kind of came in. He was had his face hidden with this wonderful top hat. And he's here for the show is what I'm getting. So he's very excited to be here. He's very excited to share messages with us is what he says. Vicki, what are you getting?
He appeared at the edge of my space very quickly, and he kind of with a cock or a tilt of his head, and a little bit different, but similar to what you were talking about. It's like he's a character, he's a showman, And so he's putting on a bit of a show for me at the edge of his face. So he's tilting his head and he's got his eyebrow raised. Now he's going back the other way and he's like, it's like you reminds me of something my dog does sometimes, Miko. It's like, you really want to talk to me, don't you? You really want to know about this. So he's putting on a little bit of a show for me at the edge of his space, or my space.
And as Vicky was saying that, the showman, the greatest showman came into play. So sometimes I get song lyrics as well. And it's the pounding of the beat. He comes in with a purpose. He wants to share his messages with us. And he's also making me feel like he is a real ladies' man in the way of officer and a gentleman is what I'm getting. I'm trying to think of the actor. I can't think of the actor's name that was in Officer and a Gentleman. Very polite, very, what is the word that you want me to use?
Richard Gere.
Is it Richard Gere? Is that the actor?
Yeah. Austere is the word that's coming to mind for me. I don't know if that's where
Yes.
you're coming from, but that's what's coming through for me. Well, he's also, it's like he's come up to me now and not as quickly as running right up to me, but kind of trotting. Again, he's showing off as he's coming up to me, but he wants to know if I have a treat for him, like a carrot or an apple. It's like, do you have something for me?
He's very calm and he's making me smile and he's making me feel comfortable. The energy, I feel safe when Bart is around. I feel safe. And my heart is kind of doing this little pitter patter. Again, he's got this cabaret hat on that's making me like this little pitter patter. So just being in Bart's presence is such a joy. So I'm going to go to Angela. Angela, did you have a quick question that you would like us to ask of Bart?
Oh, my question's always, what does he want us to know? Kind of like how, how does he enjoy serving us, or just, like what is his kind of tagline to the people that he serves? I kind of feel it and hear it, but he's just so unique, so I just feel like he has a message for us.
Okay, so maybe Vicky, how does this sound? I'm already getting an answer to the question.
Me too. Me too.
Are you getting an answer to the question too?
Yeah.
You go ahead, Vicky.
He helps you run the show. He helps you keep things in order. And he's making it like, it's not like he's even always obvious about it, but he's got his eye on everything. He's aware of everything that's going on around, and he's helping you run the show.
Yeah.
I'm getting very similar to Vicky, and I'm hearing him say he's your partner. He's the partner that brings the hope. And he has the word hope in giant letters, that this organization that he's partnering with, and he feels like he wants some credit for helping you with this, with the hope and bringing of the animals. He's very much your partner and willing to work with you in bringing hope, bringing awareness that there's this place for animals to go. Does that make sense, Angela?
Yeah.
And the word hope is like huge capital letters. Like, this is the meaning of this organization, of how he's partnering with you, is to bring hope and awareness to your organization. And now he's saying that, Angela, he would like a little pat on the back every now and then, like, good boy, thank you. And he's like this, a little pat on the back every now and then, a little pat on the back, he says.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's not so.
He's showing me a connection from his heart to your heart. I see this energetic connection between your two hearts, but he's also telling me that he helps to keep you from taking things too seriously. It's like he brings levity to the mix and helps to lighten things up for you.
Very true. Yep. And he was going to auction, so we were kind of a last minute save for him. So he does bring a lot of hope, especially for animals.
And gratitude.
Mm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah.
So thank you, Angela, for validating that and that beautiful question. And thank you everybody who is the Bart fan club that came and all of those who know Bart.
And thank you, Bart.
He's doing amazing work with everybody. So Angela, thank you for sharing Bart.
I'm
with
gonna
us. What was that?
So I'm gonna buy him a top hat.
Oh.
Please do, and kind of angle it just a little bit so it's covering like just a little bit. So thank you. He's a very special boy, and thank you everybody for tuning in and listening to what Bart has to say. So I'm gonna turn it over to Donna. Hey,
Okay.
Donna.
Hey, thank you.
Say goodbye.
I think Julie and I are going to tune in. Julie, are you drawn to anyone in particular?
I am. I'm drawn to Bianca. If
Okay.
Bianca's open to having a reading tonight, okay, yep. You can unmute yourself, Bianca, if you want. Oh, there we go.
Hi there.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Thank you for being drawn to me. I'm honored.
You're giving off a vibe.
I
Your animal is, yeah.
yeah, I'm actually here with my animal's ashes actually.
Oh, okay.
She passed away in August.
Okay.
And her name?
Her name?
Do you want me to just put it in the chat?
Nope, just go ahead and tell us what her
Sure.
name is.
Sure. Her name, she was a chocolate lab.
Okay.
She was 11 years old, just all short of 12, and her name was Vivu, Vivoo.
Okay. Great.
Vivu.
All right.
And she
Don't tell us
was-
anymore. Don't tell us anymore.
Okay, got it.
Thank you.
Okay, so Donna and I are going to go ahead and connect in with Vivu. Did I say it
Okay.
right? Okay.
Vivu, yes.
Vivu. Okay, we're going to connect in and get her personality, and then we'll go back and forth and just tell us
Okay.
yes, it makes sense, or no, it doesn't.
Okay.
And then we'll have you ask a question. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So Donna and I are going to go ahead and connect to Vivu.
Yeah, so right away, I'm getting that Vivu is a very curious girl. She's always sniffing and snooping, if you will, checking things out, trying to be completely aware of her surroundings. For most of her life anyway, that was her almost like MO, if you will. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also get when she comes to me, well, she's just like, oh my gosh, I'm here. Oh my gosh, I'm here. And very excited. But then I also see her cradling. She's cradling you. And just like, I'm right here, Mom. I've got you. I've got you. I've got you. And she just keeps rocking you back and forth. And she just feels very maternal in that way and just very loving in that way. Does that make sense?
She loved everybody. She was a very friendly girl.
She was.
Do you have a question in particular for her?
Is she still around me? Is she still close to me? I try to think of her as not having passed away, but having changed somehow into a different essence, if you will. And I'm trying to, that it's hard for me to think of that all the time because I miss her physically, but is she around me? And where, like, when? Is it always or sometimes?
Well, she's right. She's with you right now. She's showing me that where she's underneath you, like she sits almost like underneath you, holding you up, like the cradling thing that I kept seeing. But she does say, she answered your first question, or the first part of your question, she is with you. She says all the time. Go ahead, Donna.
No, she leaves occasionally, to go do some other things and have some puppy fun and run and play like she used to when she was young and at her height or at her peak, if you will. But she's with you. All you have to do is think of her and she's right there. She is so tuned into you. It's like she's just still with you, if that makes sense. A part of her essence is still there. You know, I like what you said about how she changed forms, because that's exactly how it feels, that our, you know, the soul just changes its place, if you will, in its form, but the soul never dies and doesn't go anywhere. So she will always be with you.
Does my cat know it? Do other animals know about
Oh.
grief?
I'm asking Vivu if I hear her say she messes with your cat. Like a fun way, but it's the word messes with your cat is what I hear her say. But I also have to tell you, Bianca, when I was as Donna was talking with you, I was asking Vivu, what does she do to make you realize that she's there? And I feel a lot of warmth on this side of my, this is my right side, on the right side of my face, and even a little pressure on my shoulder. And then I feel her going, like just kind of breathing or panting almost on the side of your face, so that you can feel her and maybe even smell it. It might not be the best smell sometimes.
Oh, I used to love it. Yeah.
But every now and then, if you smell something and you're like, wait a minute, yep, that's her. She's messy. I hear her say she's messing with you too.
On my right side, hey?
Mhm.
Interesting. That's
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah.
And I'm also seeing her from time to time. If you're sitting in your chair, you know, just relaxing, say watching television or something like that, and you might feel on the end of your knee or the bottom of your thigh, right there where your knee bends, like you could feel her set her head on your leg. You can feel that, and that's real. That's her.
That's wonderful.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you're so welcome.
Yeah, you're very welcome. She loves you so much, and she's very excited that I hear her say she's really happy that you asked the question that you did, because she's been trying to make sure you knew she was around, like to give you, I hear the word validation. She was been trying to validate that she's been around and hasn't left you.
And she's
I'm
doing
so-
this. Picture
That's
her up on her
wonderful.
hind legs, and her front paws are just like this.
That's wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome. We're really sorry about Vivu, but she's right there. So
I'm grateful. Thanks.
You're welcome.
all right, Vicky, do you want to pick somebody?
Let's see. Wendy?
Pardon?
Wendy?
Wendy?
Yes.
Yes.
Hi.
Would you like to have a reading?
Sure.
There's actually, I show two
Oh.
Wendy's.
Okay. I was the one, she's right in the center of my screen actually, and with a reddish sweater.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
With the glasses.
Yes.
Okay.
Was
But
that
now
me?
I feel bad because
Oh.
yeah, that was you. But now I feel bad because there were two of you that got your hopes up.
Don't. I believe in divine order. This is perfect. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Wendy.
Thank you. That was so gracious.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so who would you like us to read today?
Could it be a dog in spirit for me?
Yes.
Okay.
And their name?
Snoopy,
Snoopy.
a male,
Okay.
a Shih Tzu.
Okay. And he's in spirit. Okay.
Yes, he's in spirit.
Okay. So give us just a moment and we'll clear and connect with Snoopy. Oh, I'm just immediately, this face, this precious face with these beautiful eyes. I'm drawn to that. And these eyes are just beaming love. There's a little bit more there, so I'm going to rest with that for just a moment. If you have something coming in, Jody.
So when I connect in with Snoopy, Wendy, I see this little, I don't know what kind of dog, but he's presenting this little silhouette and he's marching in. He's very determined to be, and he's got some serious rhythm. he knows his step. He's very confident in his step, and he's marching in like this. And I'm actually drawn to his arms. He seems like he's a bodybuilder because he's got these big, massive arms that are kind of coming in like this, and he's walking in. So he kind of came around and he's parading around the front of me, I see, and he's marching to the beat, almost like, and he keeps talking like this, and he keeps marching, and his hands are getting bigger. And there's this sense of big essence in a little tiny body, like big personality, big tough guy in a little tiny body. But that he's making me feel like that's okay because I'm bigger. And he's walking, and so he kind of walks around me like this. He's very proud of himself, of his big personality in that little tiny body. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes sense.
And again, I'm back to his face. It's like, you know how when photographers take pictures, sometimes you've got this sort of a pose thing going on. And so it's like, I see this face front and center and these eyes. And it's like, I'm looking, it's like his eyes are like portals. I'm looking clear through them. And I just see this wise spirit in this tiny little face.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a hint of it's like I'm being drawn to my eyebrows, and it's almost like there's a hint of sadness in there or regret in there, in a sense. Does that make sense to you?
Possibly.
Okay. Let's see if he wants to say anything more about that real quick. It's like it was like there was something more he wanted to share, something more he wanted to say, something, it's like he left before he could express something fully to you. Are you picking up on anything like that, Jody?
He's talking about the soul lesson that he was helping Wendy work on.
Okay.
And he keeps making me feel, Wendy, that he was your biggest cheerleader. He was your biggest supporter. Even though there were times, Wendy, where you didn't want to do anything, he rallied behind you and he said, come on, Wendy, let's go. We're going to get this going. And it was this support that you needed at this particular time in your life. And I am, Vicky, picking up that little sadness because, again, this is the soul level part. Because he's not physically with you, you feel like he's not supporting you. Does that make sense? He's saying, I am her biggest cheerleader. I don't have to be right in this physical plane with her. I'm still supporting her. And that's why he keeps cheering you on. And there's that, again, that sadness that I'm picking up as with Vicky about, because he's not physically here, you feel like he's not supporting you. And he's like, I've always been her biggest cheerleader. I've always been there pushing her. And he's reminding me of this little kid with his arms folded like that. Well, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. And then there's the supportive parent who says, yes, you are. You're going to go. You're going to. And this is what Snoopy's making me feel he does for you. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're sitting there like this with your, nope, I'm not doing it. Nope. And he's like, yes, you are. Yes, you are. And so there's that little bit of a push of support.
Yeah, and there's it's like sometimes when it comes to the soul lesson and I'll get this message that it's time to pass the torch, and it's like he's passed the torch.
Yes.
And like Jody was saying, it's like he doesn't quite feel like you've fully embraced that torch yet of his lesson. But also those deep eyes of his, it's like he's also showing me, it's like he would use those on you. He would use those to get what he wanted and to will you into doing what he wanted you to do. Does that make sense?
Yes, and he had unusual eyes, 2 different colors. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Like a brown eye and a blue eye.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah. So his
Do
eyes
you have a question for Snoopy?
let me see. I guess just it was funny when you said passing the torch, because I was going to ask his opinion about my new dog, his feelings about the new dog and his role in my life.
Okay, what's your new dog's name?
Hamlet.
Hamlet. Oh,
Oh my
okay.
gosh, I love that name.
So should we ask Snoopy how he feels about Hamlet?
Yeah, if
Okay.
that's okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
What would you like to share with us about Hamlet, Snoopy? Okay, this seems too obvious, but he's like, he's a ham.
I
He's a
got that
what?
too, Mickey.
He's a what? Sorry.
He's a ham.
He's a ham. Yeah.
It's almost like it's like he's a ham in the sense that he's hamming it up, but it's like he slid right into Snoopy's place in a way and just said, okay, here I am, this is mine. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I can take that for sure.
And I totally agree with you, Vicky. I from what Snoopy is telling me is that he's really having to work on him because he's very much the ham, the center of attention. And so the support that you're getting from Hamlet and Snoopy at the same time, it's almost like Snoopy's having to do double work. Okay, all right, we've got to get Wendy, and Hamlet is like, come on, let's go. We're all good. You know, all of this, but Vicky, I picked up on the same thing that he kind of was just like, really kind of came right in, and he's like, hey, Wendy, like this. Okay, and Snoopy is talking about how he's helping Hamlet learn the ways of Wendy. He says, I'm helping him learn the ways of Wendy. Does that make sense?
Yes, I think that makes sense.
Okay.
See if I get any last things here. Just my heart is filling with gratitude and love and warmth. He appreciates you and loves you very deeply. He's honored for the time that he spent here with you and the work that he did with you.
And
Very
also
special.
very,
He's
very
saying it's
special.
very special. Yeah.
He wants to kind of reiterate again, Wendy, he's still supporting you. He's not gone very far. So when you're in those moments of sadness, like, oh my gosh, I can't do this, I can't do this, that's when he kind of comes in and does that little nudge, that little push along your shoulder. So he's nudging my right shoulder, saying, I'm still here, I'm still here. Even though he's not here physically. Does that make sense? So you are still getting the same support that you need when you're kind of folding your arms like this and you don't want to do what you want to do. He's still supporting you and kind of, I don't want to say pushing you, but there's definitely this rally behind you.
Well, and Hamlet slid into Snoopy's face and Snoopy is working with Hamlet like Jody's described, but Hamlet doesn't always do things the way that Snoopy would have done them.
That's true.
Thank you, Vicky. That's very much true.
He's like, but he's that's okay. Snoopy's rolling with that. It's not that big of a deal to him, but he is noting it. So
Did that answer your question, Wendy?
Yes, thank you very much. Now I know I have to connect with them more. So thank you so much.
And he's actually very glad that you have Hamlet there, and he's happy to be working with Hamlet. So
oh, that's nice. Thank you. That's lovely. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Wendy, for sharing Snoopy and Hamlet with us.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Hey.
All right, Donna or Julie. Is it Donna?
Nope, Donna picks.
Donna.
Lisa Tracy, are you up for a reading today? Could you unmute yourself? Down in the lower left corner of your screen, there you go. Awesome. Lisa. Could you give me the name of your animal, please?
Callie.
Callie, and female?
Female.
Living?
Dog and alive.
Dog and alive. Awesome.
Oh, and Lisa, how do you spell Callie? Is it C-A-L-L-I-E?
K-A-L-I.
Okay.
Okay. One moment. We'll be right back with you.
Okay.
Oh, you said it. Good.
When I connect in with Callie, well, first I see she's just absolutely beautiful. Like she's stunning. Like she wants to just take my breath away. She's so beautiful. But I also feel at the same moment as I see this gorgeous dog, I just feel like this rambunctious, like, gotta go, we got stuff to do. I gotta grab her arm and I gotta play with her. And here we go, because we're gonna go over here. No, we're going over here. And it's just like this constant restless energy. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, in her younger days, definitely.
Okay, okay.
When I first connected with her, she had that, she's coming, I don't want to say cautiously, let me just say cautiously. She's walking cautiously. And then she sort of like slips. Like, you know how when dogs can't get traction on a tile floor and they just kind of go, you know, their legs like that. And she had a little bit of a whoops kind of a moment, and then she sort of trotted right on over to me. And she sat and just kind of plunked her bum down on the floor and put her paw up. Does this sound like Callie?
Absolutely. Yeah.
She's a lovely lady.
She's a lady.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that, because I still see, like, she, as Donna was talking, and talking about not having traction or whatever, she's like, but I'm still gorgeous. I'm still,
Yeah.
yep. Mm-hmm. And like she's doing her hands like this, like, gorgeous.
That's her.
She's just wonder. She just feels so, even though she's like this, you know, gorgeous, she still feels very much to me like my best girlfriend. Like, I'm just gonna sit down and I'm gonna tell her everything that's going on, and she's gonna listen, and she's gonna put her arm around me. She's gonna tell me everything's gonna be okay. She's just she just feels like a solid go-to being, if that makes sense.
If she could, she'd put her arm around you like this. I mean, like, she sees you guys as pals. And I don't know if you ever noticed, but she'll be beside you, and then all of a sudden she's looking up at you with just these eyes, you know, just nose up toward your face. Yeah, you're her person.
Very good.
Yeah. Do you have a question you want to ask her, Lisa?
Yeah, it's a really tough question, so sorry to throw it at you, but here we are. Is Callie ready to cross?
Okay. Just asking to see if she wanted us to ask the question differently, but.
I get this huge expansion in my heart space. There's so much love.
Oh, go ahead, Donna, please go ahead.
Go ahead, Julie.
I was just gonna say, I don't feel that she's complete, like I hear her say, I know time is coming, if you will, but I'm not there just yet. I still feel absolutely in my body. I don't feel like anything's, that's me though. So Donna may have a different, but there is an awareness. I do feel awareness up in my head that the time is coming, and she knows the days are days are getting shorter, is what I hear her say. But I don't feel that anything has started yet exactly, if that makes sense. Okay. Donna, I don't know if you've gotten anything different or feel the same.
I feel tired, and I feel like some days are better than other days, but I'm not ready. It's not my time. And I almost see like, and I get this a lot with the animals, they'll show me like the classroom clock, like the round ones that were up on the walls with the little hash marks in between the minutes and the, but it's not quite the top of the hour yet. It's not time yet. That's what she's showing me.
She's hanging on by a thread.
Yeah. I hear her express gratitude to you for supporting her as much as you are, and she knows that it's difficult. Like I hear her say, I know it's difficult. I know there's a lot of things going on with my body that's causing you extra work. And I'm sorry, but I'm also really grateful. I'm just, yeah, I'm trying to spend as much time as I can with you. I'm just not ready to go just yet.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. She's very sweet and she's gorgeous.
Does she have long hair, longish hair?
No, she's super short hair, super
Okay.
short hair.
Mm.
Yeah, she is a lady and she's beautiful and she's very regal.
Nice.
Yeah, that makes sense. Wonderful. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you, guys.
Bet. Jody and
Oh yeah. So Sandy. Sandy, are you up for a connection with your animal? Hi, Sandy.
Hello, thank you. Yes, I would be.
As soon as you popped in, I was connected to you immediately. So yeah, the less information that we know, the better the reading. So just the animal's name, what kind of animal it is, male or female, and if that animal is alive or crossed over. Vicky, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Okay, Sandy, so what
Okay.
is the animal's name?
His name was Buddy. He has passed.
Okay. What kind of
Um,
animal is Buddy?
He was a dog.
A dog?
It's a dog, yes.
And he was a male?
Yes,
And he's crossed.
yes.
Okay, just give us a moment and we'll
Thank you
connect
very
with
much.
Buddy.
Thank you.
Here's another funny one. So Buddy came in really, really quickly. He came directly in front of me and he's literally at my face. And he wants you to know that he is the man. He's got this. He is the man of the hour. And he literally is so close to my face. If I could touch noses with him, he's right here. So anytime for me, when an animal comes in like that, there's this powerful confidence essence about him. Like he's the man. He's your man kind of thing. And that's how he's talking to me. Does that make sense?
I think so.
Okay.
Go ahead. I can go ahead. Because
Sure.
him being so close to you does mean something to me.
Oh, okay. Perfect. 'Cause he's right in my face.
Because he was deaf. So
Oh, okay. All right, Vicky, what are you getting?
For me, he's coming into my space rather lankily. So not necessarily clumsy, but easygoing, really comfortable in his body, and kind of one of these sorts of walks as opposed to as purposeful. And he's coming right up in front of me, and there's a beautiful, precious goofiness about him, actually, that I'm adoring. Does this make sense?
yes, it does. Yes.
And so when I ask Buddy if there's anything that he'd like to share for you today, he's talking about your sensory. You are very intuitive and you're very sensitive to, and he's using the word sensitive over and over again. And this is why he says he chose you, because you would understand him, whether he was deaf, blind, only had 3 legs. It was your sensitivity that attracted him to you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. He wants you to embrace that sensitivity, your intuitive, your gut feeling that you, and he's saying she kind of dismisses it all of the time to where she doesn't believe it. And he's like, no, he's wanting you to embrace this intuitiveness about you, this sensitivity that you have. It's not like a bad thing. It's not a crazy thing. this is an amazing thing that he is bringing forth to share with you. Does that make sense?
Thank you. Yes.
And this is kind of further to Jody, him being right in her face. It's like he's up and he came up to my face briefly, but then it kind of switched to I see the two of you, and I see his face right up next to yours, and it's almost like you're sharing breath, sharing energy together there, and it's really a beautiful exchange. It's just like he's wanting to be right there, right in your space, right with you.
We used to talk through our eyes because he couldn't hear me talk, so we'd use our eyes
Okay.
to talk to each
Okay.
other.
Oh, wow, Cindy.
But he's also calling attention to the breath. And so it was like he would breathe your breath and you would breathe his breath. And it was like you shared space that way together as well. Yeah.
Do you have a question, Sandy, that you'd like us to ask Buddy?
Yes. I rescued him in that state that he was in. He was highly abused. And he only was with me a little over a year. And I was totally in love with him and just lost him this past August. And I just want to make sure that, and because of his abuse, he suffered terribly with anxiety. And I just wanted, if he was happy here, it was hard for him to express happiness.
Okay, so it sounds like I'm hearing you'd like us to ask Buddy how he felt when he was with you.
Yeah,
That's a
if
good
he
question.
was with me.
Yeah.
Okay, Vicki, how does that feel to you?
That feels good to me. And I feel him in the time that he was spending with you or that he was there with you. I feel him gradually, slowly starting to calm and feel safe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
he never really reached that total safe place except for moments, he's saying me.
Yes.
But he did gradually start to calm, and he's very grateful and very happy for that. That connection that the two of you had that he showed me was very, very precious. And yeah.
It was to me. I was just hoping that he felt loved.
Oh yes. Yeah, no doubt about that.
And I too, very similar to what Vicki is getting. Again, he came to you for this sensitivity because you understood him. You never judged him. And there's such gratitude and love that he felt safe with you as much as you felt safe with him. Again, as Vicki was saying, that shared breath, that shared energy, you accepted him for who he was. As I said before, whether he was blind, deaf, three-legged,
Right.
you accepted him for him. And that is what he's grateful for. And he's bringing up, you never judged him for any of that.
No.
And
No.
so he's kind of turning it back on you about your sensitivity, not to judge yourself, because you're an amazing, intuitive and sensitive person that you should not be judged. Does that make sense? To where he's now kind of,
Yeah.
you judge him. And so now he's sharing with you, don't judge yourself.
Well,
Does that make sense?
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Go ahead, Vicki.
He's saying to me too that you gave him a purpose, you know, and that was very important to him, and that he's very grateful for that. And he's also showing me how that as you were helping hold space for him to settle and feel safer, he's saying that actually kind of helped you settle more deeply into yourself as well, that was equally healing for you. And
Yeah.
it was short, but it's like you really gave him a purpose that he felt was lacking in his life until he got to you.
That's beautiful. Thank you. Because he also gave me a purpose. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
He's showing me the infinity symbol. Like it's never ending. It's the two of you were very in sync
Right.
with each other. And he's giving me the namaste, like thank you so much for allowing me as a soul to be who I wanted to be. So thank you, Sandy.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All
What
right,
a very
Donna.
special boy. Yeah.
What, Jody? Sorry.
Oh no, he was just a very special boy, and I'm totally moved by Buddy and just this overwhelming sense of gratitude.
Yeah. Yeah. That was beautiful.
And there's still sometimes, I'm sorry, it's
Oh, go
there are
ahead.
still some times where it's like you feel that right here. That he's just saying like to pay attention because there are times when he's still right here for you.
Okay, thank you so much.
And that if you feel and sense him there, that he's there.
Thank you. I miss him so bad. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandy, for sharing him with us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, Donna, are you ready for the next one?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Anybody in particular?
I'm being drawn to Marianne if she's open to it. Okay. And I was looking when Buddy was with us and Sandy, and I was just kind of looking around and I kept getting drawn to her frame. And then of course there was a dog in it. So that was, but it doesn't that dog. So are you open to having a reading, Marianne?
Yes, very much.
Okay.
Oh,
And
wonderful.
who would you like us to connect with this evening?
It would be Vincent, and he is a male dog who has passed.
Okay. All right. Give us just a second here and we'll connect in with Vincent. So I get actually two two images of Vincent. I get a Vincent and I get a Vinny.
That's
and
right.
I get Vincent has more of a gentlemanly quality, if you will. Like the way that I see him is he's got, much like Bart the goat had in the beginning of tonight's event, was I see him with the top hat, tails, the white vest, just like Downton Abbey. He's very much like Robert Grantham from Downton Abbey, if you know, if you watch that show. Very much would dress for dinner. Like there were certain things he had to do a certain way because that's how they're done, just like a gentleman. And at the exact same time, I see Vinny, like from my cousin Vinny, like a little bit of I hear bulldozer, and I feel like I'm hearing and I'm actually seeing in that movie my cousin Vinny when Marissa Tomei is like pounding on the floor, but like now I want something now. Like he's very much about that too, and that's where the Vinny part comes in. Does any of that make sense to you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He had two personalities.
Oh.
Thank goodness. I was beginning to think that I had two dogs. Because at first he comes like sliding into the space sideways like Tom Cruise in his socks, you know, in that whatever that show was when he did the underwear scene. Anyway, it's like late to the party or something. And then again, he was sitting up just straight and nice and proud and tall and ready to talk to me and just acting like a little grown-up. And I thought, how many dogs are here?
I have a lot of dogs.
Oh, okay. Well, he's definitely got stuff to talk about.
Yeah, I hear him say, I'm the very special one. I'm very special. And I even see, I remember when I was a kid, we would wear like big buttons or whatever on our shirts, and I see one that's got like a big number, like a hashtag, and then a one, number one, size number one. And I even see him with one of those foam fingers that you see at football games, like me, I'm number one. That's,
Yeah.
Donna, do you have anything else you want to share? Or
Yeah, I'm seeing that he was the one that liked to be like a bit of a snuggle bug. You know, he wanted to be next to your leg or kind of draping over into your lap and just kind of hanging out together. And that was like, if you ask him where his favorite spot was, that would be the spot. It was like right with you, wherever you are. He wanted to be like, not in your face, but in your lap or next to you. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
And
We were
it's
very
funny.
attached.
Oh, sorry, Marianne, what?
I just said we were very attached.
Yeah.
It's funny, Donnie, when you were saying that too, like then I even see him as Vinny come up and go, okay, get out of her. I get that lap, move it, it's mine. And like pushing his way in, making sure that he was the one in your lap. That makes sense too.
So do you have a question for him, Marianne?
Just, does he have any messages for me?
Okay.
So I think, Donna, what if we just say, what do Vinny or Vincent, what would you like Marianne to know right now? Does that make sense?
Yes, that sounds good.
Okay. So I heard him say, I want her to know I miss her very much. And I miss my antics. I miss playing my games or antics or making you laugh. And when I closed my eyes there for a minute, I actually saw him flying through the air at me and like ears, like out to here. And I don't know if that's actually how he physically was, but he would just come like, it feels like he would just come running at you. And he just really misses that when he would do that, any of those antics, just the smile that you would get on your face. And he would just really feel like, yes, I got her to laugh. Because that's what he was there to do. Does that make sense?
He's a good boy.
Yeah. And he's telling me that he was here for you to be able to see yourself the way he sees you, if that makes sense. There was a lot of coming into self-acceptance and passing through some tough times. And he was right there with you, helping to kind of lift you up. He's showing me like holding you up and you're like right here, and just kind of like nudging and supporting and helping you to see yourself the way he saw you. This is an awesome person.
That is awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. But it was his soul contract with you, or his soul lesson that he worked on with you, was about that, about loving yourself and knowing your worth and how lovable you are.
And that you have a lot to give is what I hear him say. Particularly your laughter. There's like a lot of, I feel like he's showing me like a lot of love coming up and out of you, as well as like the laughter and just being able to share that, because you brighten, I hear him say you brighten the room in which you walk.
Oh,
That's what I hear him say.
oh, how sweet.
Yeah. And that's important that you keep doing that.
He was my grandpup.
Okay.
Loved him very much.
Yeah. Yeah, you were, I hear him say you were the bomb.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right. Anything else, Donna? I feel like he's expressed what he's wanted to say.
Yeah, he's taking a bow and sending you, like I'm saying, sending you love, but he's doing all.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm just getting he wants to just give you a big hug.
Oh.
He's so happy. And tip his hat. He's tipping his hat to you as well. Yeah.
How sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, I miss him.
Thank
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you so much for sharing him with us, both Vincent and Vinny.
Yes.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. It was awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Jody, Vicky, you got drawn to anyone?
Vicky, who are you being drawn to? Or no, is it me? I think it's me. Is it me?
It doesn't, I think it's me. It doesn't matter, but I'm actually being drawn back to our other Wendy, if she's still here. There she is.
Oh,
I am still here. And I would really like to hear what Sam at 16 hands, which is a horse, has to say for us.
Sam.
oh. Okay, so Sam is a horse.
Okay, and is he still with us?
Yes, he is still with us. He's my buddy.
Okay.
Okay. And male, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So Sam the horse. Okay. Just give us a moment, Wendy, and Vicky and I will connect him with Sam.
I'm getting that austere again, right away. Shoulders back, and there is definitely a sense of pride there. Even head held high. What would you like to-
Oh, Vicky, are you still going?
No, I sometimes I have my conversations out loud.
Yeah,
instead
me
of-
too. Yeah, me too. So Wendy, when I connected with Sam, immediately he kind of comes in again, and I'm drawn to like his chest, very broad. His head is held high. He's making me feel he's the watchman of the herd, is what I'm hearing. The watchman of the herd. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Spirit of the Cimarron. Someone is shaking their head, so I know someone has seen that movie, that cartoon movie with the horse. It was a wild Mustang. Does anybody know the name of the wild Mustang? Because that's what I see, is what Sam is showing me, is this watcher of the herd, not in the sense of protecting the herd, but very much aware of the herd, of where everybody needs to be, everybody's place. And again, he's not making me feel like he's coming at it from, he's the alpha. It's more of like he's the watchman. Does that make sense, Wendy?
Yes.
Okay.
And I mean, in the position of my shoulders back, how he first came in for me, my chest then would be very forward, like you talked about, but sitting here more so than other readings and just my own general level of anxiety that I'm constantly having to manage. I'm really feeling in my chest and in the front of my shoulders, like part of this watching over the herd has to do also with his own safety and him wanting to know where things are, so that, you know, I'm feeling a sense of anxiety in him as well that exceeds my general sense. So
This is really cool, Wendy. So again, Sam is showing me the chest. He's so wise in the sense that he can pick up different things that we're not aware of. And so, okay, he's saying multitasker. He is a great multitasker, to where he can say, okay, over here, over here, over here, over here. And he's so encompassing of everything that he knows where everybody is. He knows, okay, well, Angela needs to be here at this time and Wendy needs to be over here at this time. And he's very much that watcher. He's pulling me to the trees or the forest or the woods, to where and you're laughing, so that makes sense. Okay. I'm going to leave it at that, because there's some really powerful energy coming from the woods, the trees and things like that. And he is showing me that he is standing guard. So whatever this is creating this, as Vicky said, a little bit of anxiety, because he's this energy that's all around. He's trying to keep everybody, all right, everybody get behind. Does that make
but
sense?
it's overwhelming though too. It's like I feel
very
it's
overwhelming.
like wanting to retreat at the same time. And when you mentioned the woods, it's like the strong, but it's almost like wanting to go and hide in the woods as well, so that he can get away from others and just have his own space. It's like a retreat to me. It feels like just wanting to get away there. Does that make sense?
It does make sense, and I'll let Angela pipe in if she wants, but we have Organic Learning Connections, which is a homeschool program there at 16 Hands, and the kids go and play in the Magic Forest, and he's always kind of watching over the kids and kind of leery of the kids messing with him and his stuff, but he watches over the kids and us as we learn to play in nature and experience nature. So that makes perfect sense.
Okay. But again, back to that, he's not real comfortable with the kids. You know, it's like he's afraid of the kids is how it's coming through for me. And if he had it's like he's having to work his way through that in order to be there.
So are the kids.
Yeah.
And Vicky, to go along with that, he's showing me of somebody who's like really tall, like really massive. And there's all these little kids are all around him all of the time. And he's like, oh my God, there's too many of them. I don't know what to do. So if you can imagine this really almost like a basketball player with, let's say, 50 to 100 kids, you know, wanting this autograph. Hey, I want this. I want it's making me feel a little overwhelmed because he's like, okay, I don't know who to pick. And so it's this, like all these little kids around this big, huge, tall guy, like the children wanting his attention, and he's just not sure, like, I don't want to make this one feel bad if I'm giving this one too much attention. And all of these kids are kind of at him. So that goes along, Vicky, with what you're saying. Does that make sense, Wendy?
I'm going to leave that one for Angela to answer, but yeah, it kind of does. But we give Sam his space. I'm more the one in Sam's face saying, I want attention.
Okay, so do you have a question for Sam?
How can we help him acclimate to all of us being there? And what is he here to show us?
Okay. So what I'm immediately seeing, what he's showing me, and he showed me this before, it's like he took that step back energetically. I felt myself draw back a little bit and I could breathe, but then moving forward again. And so like all of it all at once is a bit much for him. So if he could kind of step up, step back, step up, step back, and get his bearings, does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
And Wendy, when I asked him the question about you, what can you do? It's very similar to what Wendy was saying. And he is showing me, again, it's a scene from The Spirit of the Cimarron. So if anybody's seen that, please post it in the chat, the name of the horse. To where the young man is holding out his hand and the horse will run by, and allowing him to come to you, not you putting your hand on his nose, or I don't know what that's called, but allowing him to come to you. Oh, now he's showing me how to train your dragon. He's very kid-like with the symbolism that he's showing me. So in How to Train Your Dragon, the movie, the boy and the dragon, you know, they don't get along. And the boy sticks out his hand and the dragon is the one that comes up and pushes his head into the hand. So it's very similar to what Vicky is saying, allowing him that space of when he wants to come up to you, not you putting your hand on him, just standing there present, Wendy, in the moment with your hand out. If he comes to you, wonderful. If he doesn't, allowing him that choice and that space that he needs, because it is that feeling of a little overwhelming. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And this is particularly for you, Wendy. Oh, sorry, Vicky.
Yeah, that's okay. So he's showing me that he has an affinity for you, that he really does like you. And he's showing, it's like you're alongside of him and it's like your head is actually kind of leaning in towards him and his energy is kind of leaning in towards you. So he does feel safe and he does feel comfortable with you, but everything all at once is just too much for him right now. So just like I said, forward and back, pacing it little bits, and then, you know, like Jody described, letting him kind of step into his comfort as he attains it for himself. And you can help him by being alongside of him, because affinity is the word I keep hearing. He really does have an affinity for you and a trust for you. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
And just one more thing again about the watchfulness. He understands that this is his purpose, that he wants to be here and be proud. He wants the people and the herd to be proud and confident in him as Vicky said, there's almost this lack of confidence that he has. So by him having his own space is allowing him that confidence to say, I'm a good watcher. I'm watching all of these. I'm watching all of you guys. And now I'm seeing like his chest kind of expand a little bit. Not in a macho way, but more of like, wow, almost he's coming into standing in his own power, his own soul power, because of the trust that you have in him and allowing him to have his own space. Does that make sense? Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. Did that answer your question, Wendy?
Yes, it did. Thank you very much.
Okay, Angela, did you want to add anything about Sam?
I'm gonna say you're dead on. Sam is probably one of the most anxious horses. I mean, he's doing phenomenal now after 3 years of working with him. But in the even now though, he's been abused really badly. Shakes when you touch him. I mean, at times. But every time I look in his eye and say, you know, you're so strong, Sam. You're so brave. And he just like, oh, thank you for reminding me. But yeah, y'all are dead on with him. He is always watching. He knows where everyone is all the time. And he is very coming into his own. So y'all were hitting it on the head there. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Wendy,
Thank you.
for taking such good care of him and your connection. And thank you, Angela, for that. I mean, he's amazing. His presence is just stunning and beautiful. And so, again, How to Train Your Dragon, the Cimarron, all of that. Sometimes those symbolisms come in. The
There's
symbolic
also-
way.
Sorry, Jody.
No, go ahead, Vicky.
There's a component in this too, or an element of it's like as we were naming his anxiety and he knew that we saw that anxiety for him, and there was an acceptance about that. So it's like he calmed down just a bit, just in accepting him as he is with that anxiety and being seen with it. And then again, not being pushed, not having to be pushed beyond the limits of it. It's like he feels, I calmed down so much inside just from being seen. Does that make sense? Not
Yes.
trying to change it, just, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Wendy, for sharing that. That was just, he's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
He is.
Really, really
He's
cool.
special.
He is very cool. He's my buddy.
Awesome. Julie,
Okay.
Donna?
Yeah. I really feel drawn to Robin Youngjohn. Robin, would you be up for a reading?
Indeed.
Okay, awesome.
I'm so glad you said that, Donna, because I was drawn to her too.
You
Oh,
were.
double header.
Yeah.
You're
My
double-
big question this whole time has been which one?
Okay, well, now's your moment. You pick
All
a
right,
quick
well,
animal.
Feeling cat because we haven't done a cat yet.
Okay.
So I'd like to hear from Kenai. He is my little male tiger kitty.
Living or deceased?
Oh no, he's alive.
Is Kenai K-E-N-I-A? A-I?
Kenai, like the Kenai Peninsula.
Which I have to say, that's the Kenai River behind me.
There you go. And in our Disney, we were talking about Spirit. He was actually named after Brother Bear.
Oh my God.
Oh, this was meant to be. Okay.
So just to keep it in the whole Disney family.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, 1 second. So Kenai comes in like a big cat, like a bobcat sized cat, like it's not as big as a tiger, but a big cat. And it's like comes in with those big purposeful kind of, slinky walk. And as he approaches, it's like he sort of goes that kind of down to regular cat size. But he comes in like I hope there are no children with kind of like a Billy Badass. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes, he has a lot of attitude.
Yeah, thank you. That would have been better. Attitude.
No, that makes sense with everything that the first thing I heard, it was just before you started talking, Donna, was I heard King of the Wild Frontier. David Crockett, and then you said like Big Cat. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, just very much like adventure, and I am here, and there's a masculine energy, and yeah, kind of a thing, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Oh, I've not sung like that, but
I love it.
Thank
It captures Kenai well.
that was him. Yeah.
He's not afraid to like put somebody in their place either with like a quick little like, pat the paw, just enough claw connection to make a point kind of thing.
I'd say a little extra, but
From his perspective, it's just enough.
too much pressure for me.
Oh,
And I hear him going, you guys are laughing at that. Why are you laughing at that? That's the way it's supposed to be. Like, come on.
straighten up.
Yeah, I hear rule the roost too.
Yeah. So funny.
Is there anything else? I also hear, I was asking if there's anything else he wants us to know before we move on. And he's just like, could you use a little more food? I do love the food. Food is good. Does that make sense to you?
That's hysterical. I got a grumbly tummy. So
Did
yeah.
you?
Well, maybe I need to feed him more.
Well, he thinks you do, whether you do or not, well, I'm not sure. But yes, he's like, yes, more would be good.
More is good.
Yeah, salmon, like from the Kenai River would be fabulous. Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like he's ready for the question. Donna, what do you think?
Yeah, I think so. Robin, do you have a question for him?
I do. Kenai, how can we help you with the vet? Or do I need to think differently about the vet?
When you said vet, I just hear.
Oh yeah. So I do a little animal communication. And when I took him last time, I was really trying to prep him for this. And he said, you cannot make this okay for me.
Yeah, he's saying different vet.
Yeah, I hear that.
I agree with that. Would a different vet be the answer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoever the human is, I feel like Donna's getting this too. It's the human. It's not the role.
He has seen different humans at that place, but it has never gone well.
Yeah.
And this last time was really appalling.
Yeah. There's something, I feel like it's something about the human, also probably about the practice, but it's not so much like a vet. It's not an issue with a vet. It's just,
Okay.
like the role of a vet. It has to do with the human in those roles. Does not
Okay,
like.
could you just ask him one more question? Would he like to go where Irene is going?
I feel lighter about it. Donna, how do you feel?
It's like he's willing to give that a shot. I hear I'll give it a shot, and kind of like a shrug of a shoulder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just,
I
it's not that place again.
yeah, I agree. We're done there.
Yeah, like when we were talking about the previous vet, like I felt anger, and I felt anger, like I felt my hackles up. I felt ugh. And
Well,
then,
you should have seen what happened to him last time. It was awful.
oh,
They put him in one of those little kitty things because he got out of his kennel and he was running around and scratching and he went on defense mode.
yeah.
And they've got those, it's like a jaws of life. It was a net and they trapped him in it and squished him in it and gave him his shots.
No, yeah. But when you mentioned going to another vet, I felt like my head just felt much, much lighter. So possible to me. So I would concur with Donna. So
Okay.
yeah.
Does that feel good, Robin?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got some work to do there. I'm still feeling a lot of tension, but we'll figure it out. And I
Yeah.
may come see you ladies to help me.
Okay, lovely. Yeah, he's just like, just help him with trust. I hear him say, like, give me time to build up trust again, because what's happened is didn't like it to begin with, but that whatever was there degraded. So he just wants a little bit more, like just give him some time to help him with building up trust. Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Robin.
Yeah.
Thank you.
He really wanted to talk. He was like drawing both of us to you, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Lovely.
Okay. Vicki and Jody?
Yeah, so I think I'm really being drawn to Kathy with an I. You're like down there, Kathy with an I. Are you up for to have your animal read?
Hello. See, I'm way up at the top.
Oh, you're way up the top? Oh, nice. Oh, she's down, kind of down there. So are you up for an animal reading, Kathy?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Thank you.
awesome, awesome. Vicki, are you ready? Okay, cool. So Kathy, thanks for joining us today. What is the name of the animal that you would like us to connect in with today?
Her name is Shiloh.
Okay.
She's a German Shepherd.
So she's a dog, female?
Mhm. Female, yes. And she's
And is-
living. And she's living.
Awesome. Okay, so thank you, Kathy, and we'll connect in with Shiloh. Right away when I connect in with Shiloh, she comes in walking on her hind legs. So again, anytime an animal kind of comes at me, like walking on her, there's a sense of purpose and self. She has a handbag, so she's got her paw, but she has a handbag hanging over, and she's got her hand on her hip. So if she could wear stilettos, she would wear stiletto heels. I'm really drawn to the handbag. I don't know why she's carrying the handbag. She says she comes with lots of baggage, is what she's saying. So I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but there's a sense of purpose when she's coming in. So she's coming in almost like a human with her right hand on her hip, and the handbag is draped over her elbow because she says she comes with lots of baggage. Does that make sense?
She does come with a lot of baggage. Thank you.
It's a very pretty handbag, I must say.
She is very pretty.
Okay, perfect. Vicki, oh my gosh.
Oh, we can't hear you.
There we go. Sorry about that. Yeah, she's coming into my space not quickly, but not particularly slowly. I feel a little bit of timidness there, but she's also, it's like a little bit side to side, a little sleek and slinky is how she's coming into my face. And I feel just a bit of timidness with her.
Yeah, she is timid.
Okay. And I feel my shoulders kind of hunching over, I mean, more than I might even normally do again. So my shoulders are kind of hunching over a little bit, and my head is coming down a little bit, and I'm just kind of looking up like, almost like, am I a good girl? Did I do everything okay? Is everything all right? Does that make sense?
When we first got her, yeah.
Okay. Then it just shifted when you said that.
So the baggage, I was asking Shiloh if she wanted to talk about the baggage. And there's this this feeling, I'm not really sure how do I feel about the baggage. But it's almost, she says, everybody questions me. Everybody questions me, and almost she's making me feel like nobody believes her when it comes to certain things. Everyone's questioning me. And again, with the hand on the hip, there's a little bit of sass to it. And she's saying, like, everybody wants to know about my past. Everybody wants to know about thinking that it's going to make me feel good. And she's choosing, she's like, that's not who I am. It's part of me, but that's not who I am. And she's I don't want to say she's making me feel irritated, but people keep asking her, well, what was her past like? Well, is this why she is the way she is because of that? And she's saying, no, the past doesn't matter. It's living in the present moment. It's who I am now. It's important. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
And what I'm feeling from her right now is like a soft, sweet innocence, but
Mhm.
also just this love to play. It's like really wanting to play, and there's something in the playing for her that it's bringing her out of her shell. And so when I said something's shifting, something's changing, it's like having somebody to love and to play with. It's really starting to shift her energy. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Kathy, do you have a question that you'd like us to ask Shiloh?
Well, if you could ask her how we could better, what we can do that's best for her health wise.
So do you want to ask?
Whether if we need to change her diet, does she need exercise more?
Okay. So maybe asking her how she feels right now? No.
No. Is there a symptom of some sort, or that's underneath this question?
Well, she's not showing symptoms, but her blood work recently shows that she has potential. And we just don't know what we need to do to help her with that.
Okay, so what can Kathy do to help you? And again, she's pulling me back to everybody is questioning her. So like
worry. There's worry.
Yeah, everybody is worried for her, and there doesn't need to be a worry. She's feeling fine. She feels good. Why is everybody worrying? Why does everybody keep questioning me? I'm here now, she says. Isn't that what's important? I'm here now. I'm with them now.
And things are better, and things are so much better than they've been. And so for her, this is just really, this is such a relief. This is awesome. And what I'm hearing from her is it's just going to take a little bit of time for her to completely settle in and settle down.
And to go back to the food, Kathy. Oh, where'd you go? Oh, there you are. To go back to she really enjoys the food.
Yes, she does.
It's not having anything to do with the food. She really enjoys the food. Again, it's not the food that she got in the past. So she's really saying, wow, this is really good food. I really like this. I really like this a lot. Why are people questioning whether I like the food or not? And there's a feeling of security. Oh, and who was that? Oh, that's kind of funny that happened when I was talking about security. She's secure with who she is. She's just trying to allow you guys to understand that she's secure in who she is. Does that make sense?
Yep, it does.
Okay.
So there is something though. It's like I'm feeling she's liking the food. It, like Jody says, but I'm also feeling a little bit of nausea in my stomach. So it could be. Let me just ask her about that some more. It's like she's getting different treats and not everything, or different sorts of maybe human foods in there, and not all of us are agreeing with her. And sometimes she just eats super fast. She's voracious about it, and maybe eats more than what her stomach really can hold at any given time. So maybe sometimes, yeah, she's showing me that she doesn't always regulate her own eating. Does that make sense?
Yes, because she really begs for treats.
Okay.
She can even open the door.
You got to give her some credit for that, Kathy, because that's pretty awesome.
I know.
That is.
The door for that. Did that answer your question, Kathy?
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Oh,
I'm
great.
just going to check in with her just real quick. There was something else. Okay. I'm asking her, does she want me to say it like that? And she says, yeah. Kathy, stop being the helicopter mom.
Yeah.
Did you get that, Vicky? Because at first she was going like a helicopter, and I'm like, I don't understand what that means. And then Kathy, you have to stop being the helicopter mom. She's fine. She really feels good with herself. And like I said, if she could wear stilettos, she would have some beautiful stilettos because her sense of style is pretty amazing. So thank you for sharing Shiloh with us.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Every reading, this has all just been so amazing. I really want to thank all of you who came this evening, and there's one person in particular who has been a tremendous help to the Animal Communication Collective, our group as a whole. And I would like to, before I turn it over to Angela to call out the names of the raffle winners, I would like to everybody wave and say thank you and hi to Susan Lynn, or Susan, wave and say hi to us so we can see you. Susan Lynn is a psychic and a medium, and she has a really amazing YouTube channel on Susan Lynn Medium that you can look her up. And she's had us on the show to help promote every event that we've had. So thank you, Susan. We really, really appreciate you. And with that, I will turn it back over to Angela.
Okay, so I get to draw 5, right? Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes, 5.
Hot. So got you all in here, and I'm just gonna state my intent that I picked the 5 who their pets want to connect, and so it will be. So my first one is Dawn. She's not here tonight due to another commitment, but she wanted a ticket. My second is Shalina. She also couldn't attend. Let's see, so that's 2. My third is Megan. I think Megan.
Hey. Megan. There she is.
Yay.
Congratulations, Megan.
Yep. Let's see. My fourth is Dawn again. I can say she bought quite a few. I don't think she went. She could enjoy a reading. Let's see. And my last one is, well, I'm gonna donate mine because I bought some too as a practice. But I've already got a practice run on Sunday, which was a treat. Get back to the pot. So Robin, young, she already got a reading tonight. Young, I think it's Youngblood, but I got Robin. So there we go.
Oh, Robin from tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently someone has more to say.
Well, Megan is a winner now, and everybody is a winner now. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you all for being here with us.
And I wanted to say thank y'all to you. I mean, y'all give so much. A lot of people contact me for different things within the organization, and none of them donate 100%. Like, this is phenomenal what you're doing and bringing a voice to not only their messages, but their soul messages with us, which is a big thing of what we do at 16 Hands too. So I intuitively communicate with them and have for years, and these ladies are dead on for my experience. So I am just so excited that you chose us and worked with us, and thank you.
It's a great partnership. I enjoy it.
Thank you, everybody. I had so much fun womaning the chat for you all, and I put in the chat where you can find us, and we are all really looking forward to connecting with one of the winners to do their readings. And I'm Karen.
30-minute.
I don't know if my name's up there, so nice to see you guys.
Thank you for hanging in. We apologize for going over just a little bit, but we could really do this forever. It's kind of a thing.
And thank you. Good morning, wherever you're at. Good afternoon.
Yeah.
Good
Bye,
everything.
everybody. Till next time.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.